4
And
people.
it's, Jasper.
She would do.
Municipal Unit Strategic Task Force.
There you go. You've been paying attention.
Look at that.
That's all she dreamed about it.
You got that right, Mike. I did. I was so ready to talk about Knox today. Here we are. And I got to throw out the acronym.
Sometimes it gets lusty.
We're all just full over here today, I tell ya. This council go.
Where did you say it's going to be?
Jasper City Hall chambers, yeah.
Okay.
Like upstairs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
They've got enough space. And
Put that in there.
at least we better be able to.
I heard you,
Right in front of Cindy, so.
I heard you say council chambers, that's why.
Right, I know. I wanted to
No,
make sure I said it the right way.
That's why I thought I better make sure.
You did right. I guess you figured it out pretty quickly, though. I supposed to keep this one very
Yes.
My extra birthday, get on my used to this.
Is it live then?
It's live.
Okay.
Oh, can I turn the audio on?
So we will then reconvene our budget discussion here and for this afternoon. I guess I want to start off, make just one comment, a couple comments. I guess, overall, the wage committee, and I think the whole council, we have kind of agreed on following the WIS wage and benefits study. We feel that we've got a rich benefit program, and we kind of use the lower end of what they recommended. The cost of employee health insurance has gone from 2017 was $1.8 million, and for 2027 we're budgeting $4,200,000. So that's it's a 10% compounded rate of increase over those 10 years. We looking back on the premiums, what the actual, I didn't have all the information going back to 17, but we have the premiums that the individual pays or the individual employees has barely creeped up. And maybe it's gone from, I think back in that time period, it's $13 to $15 a pay period or a month or pay period. Now it's $20. So it's distorted the amount of premium that the employee and his family has to pay versus the cost of insurance. So I want to get that out there. So I think looking at this, I think the council needs to take that into consideration with the wages. Plus, like we had spoken last Tuesday, the budget is on the general fund is over $2.5 million overspent. So I think we have to take that into consideration when we look at these. So what we need to do here, or what we'd like to do, is just go through each department, on the budget, and just kind of, if we got discussion, if we don't have discussion, we can move on. So, and we can kind of have a show of hands if we got something we don't all agree on. So, just going to get the. So let's just go page 1 on the budget book. We have, I think the only item, wages all met what we recommended as a council. So I don't see any discussion there. We've got a line item here, bilingual stipend, $9,340. So we had discussion here earlier. Comments on that? Do we want to keep it in there? The way it's set up, it appears to be going $9,340. It appears to be going to one person.
What they recommended. I could start, I guess.
The hourly wage.
I really appreciated, Amy bringing all this information too. That shows us a good job about that. And I appreciate that we've been able to, I don't know, more expeditiously serve, I guess, folks, just through having, better means of communication. But I think what I struggle with where we are at this point in the year in the process that we're at right now with budgets is just quickly funding, I guess, one department. And what I'm wondering, basically what I'm trying to say is this something that we need to look at, next year and study more in depth, county as a whole, perhaps? Because I have to think that there probably are other departments that equally would probably benefit for something like this. I know that we have an interpreter on staff, but my point is, do we need to look more fully into that to find out if we're able to serve the needs of folks here in DuBois County? What I did like about it, or what I appreciated her saying, but I do think it's because we are public service, it probably causes us to have to look at it a little more closely than other areas because people have to interact with the county, government, be able to make our county go round. But at this time, for me personally, I think that I would rather take a further look and kind of examine everything as a whole for the county. But also really appreciate the work that our third deputy is doing right now in the clerk's office. So
Yes.
just kind of, just a tough one, I think.
Thanks for those comments. Anyone else make a comment?
Yeah, I do see the value in having someone who's able to speak multiple languages and communicate. But like Meredith said, is that just for one department to have? Should we have someone just for the courthouse and some other buildings, like maybe someone at the courthouse, someone at the jail, someone? I don't know those answers yet. I think we do need to study a little bit more. And then just putting a number at it, I know she did research 5 to 20%, and put it at 20%. With us doing the wage study already, I think that's just that much more of a strain on, the budget and pay and all that. So I would like to look into it more and be more fair across the whole departments, all departments, and see what the need is and where we can best utilize that. Because I know there is a need, and I don't know, Sandy said we have 10 people that are bilingual, I can kind of step in, but should we be paying them more? How much? How much is this a part of her job? Going from department to department, it's just, I think we need to get a better handle on numbers.
Sandy, did that wage study include, I don't remember seeing any bilingual pay for employees in other counties, because we're not the only county dealing with this.
I think the only one it did was the interpreter.
Interpreter. Yeah. Yeah, so I kind of go with what Sandy said. We got 10 of these employees.
And that's just what we know about.
And you can't just incentivize one department. So I think in the future, if we're going to incentivize these people, they have to pass a standardized proficiency test of some sort to show that they are proficient enough. And I do understand Amy's point because this person's in the clerk's office and she knows the clerk things and she gets really good at them. Whereas if we borrow a translator from another department, they're going to struggle with some of the tasks. And I can see why she wants to help her person in her department. But I think everyone that's bilingual should get it if we do it in the future, but they have to pass. This my analogy I said earlier is like, can I drive a semi? Yeah, I can drive a semi, but do I have a CDL? Well, no, you're not going to give me CDL. But, so that's how I would do it.
I think if it's a requirement for a job, it would be in a job description and carry its own rate. So for me, and I think, is that a commissioner? Would that be for commissioners to approve?
To change the job
Change the
description,
job
yes.
description or add? Yes, yeah. Otherwise, I totally understand.
So we ready?
Well, I think the commissioners wouldn't pass my office's job descriptions. I would create those.
Yeah, make sure.
But then we'd go through Markey to make sure they go to WIS to make sure they're
Okay, who's in favor of, let's see, we need to move on, so who's in favor of putting the $9,340 in for the bilingual stipend for the clerk's office? Anyone? Don't show hands. Okay, nobody's fault. The rest of it, I think the clerk's budget is okay, unless if someone's got a comment. And the only thing, Brooke, we had talked yesterday about some of the wage per hour might be off a penny from someone, so just, I want to make that aware to all departments, that could switch a little bit if, we're gonna make, so somebody's not paying $24.18, the other person's getting $24.19. It's the way the system rounded it. So we're gonna make them probably move everybody up the penny instead of down. So that it equalizes. County auditor, any discussion there? I don't have anything noted. Okay, county treasurer, anything there? County Sheriff's Department. Again, one of the things I want to bring up again, I think we kind of agreed on that the utilities would change. Oh, not the sheriff, I'm sorry, that's the jail. Sorry. Any changes on the Sheriff's Department?
I have a question
Okay.
on the sheriff's salary. If we keep it at what it is currently, it needs to be increased. If you're gonna keep it at what his current contract is.
So how would the tax warrants, how would the tax warrants be paid? Would that be paid directly?
Well, right now, anytime the sheriff collects those, they get turned in the report collections and they go to county general.
Okay,
I believe it's
Oh, yeah,
how they go,
right,
or they go to the sheriff pension, I can't remember which. But as they get collected, they get turned in. In the future, if he would decide to collect those, then he gets to keep that money.
so,
So until the sheriff's elected and you do a sheriff contract, you're not gonna know.
so,
But if he would keep it the same as it is now, there's not enough money in that line.
Right, you can always go down, like you said.
You can always go down, you can't go up.
Increase it just for that reason, right?
So we should probably go ahead and,
Well, the thing is you're not allowed to give an elected official more money in the current year that you're in. Whatever their budget is, or whatever they're budgeted for. But next year, you can't say, hey, I want a raise. You can't do that, it's against the statute.
so we could even do an additional if we wanted to.
Got it.
And it makes a good point.
So if he would want to keep, whoever wins would want to keep the same salary, you'd need to have that budgeted in there now.
Okay, I understand.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Well,
And there's
I
no
mean,
way for us to know how that
there's no way of
individual might
knowing.
wanna go through that, so we
Right.
really.
Is it solely up to him?
well,
Which one?
the county does a contract with him, so
it's,
So kind of whatever we dictate though.
it's the commissioners.
Well, I think I have a copy here of his current contract.
No, but if they.
It's signed by the president of both council and it's also,
I remember doing that. I still don't understand the tax warrants. If he would decide to do that, he would get those, so why would that have to be in the budget?
Well, he would get those, but his percentage.
his
may be
percentage
less
was,
It'll be less.
his percentage is higher because he forfeited those, collecting those
On the current contract.
on the current contract.
So depending on what contract they decided on, if we
Right.
decided not to do the warrants, then
Right.
we would want to make sure to have that other amount.
The number that,
The current amount
Right.
budgeted.
the number that's shown right there is the 70%
Yes.
number, right?
And it's,
I think we calculated it at 72%, but
but the percentage is based off the state
Prosecutor.
rate for the prosecutor.
Prosecutor,
And we already know that rate is not changing for 27.
correct.
So we can say that is the percentage, yeah.
And what we did in the past is the sheriff always got the increase, like if they raised the prosecutors in July, our sheriff always followed the next calendar year.
So the simple,
He would take his raise in January instead of June or July.
when the state gets their raise.
so the simplest thing would be just to move that to same, keep the rate the same, 146,811. Is that right, or,
If you're gonna keep it exactly how it is now, yes.
we're not forcing forcing the commissioner's hand by putting this amount in there. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think so.
we're not
We're just
forcing
making
it
sure
in,
the
we're
money's
not
there,
putting it in.
should that agreement go that way,
So
right?
the money would return back if he decides to do something.
If you did a different
We're
contract,
giving
then
them more options, because if we don't do it, then
They have to.
they
go.
can't say that without the budget, the money being available.
Yeah, that's good.
the sheriff is always paid by how the contract is written.
So,
I would say we would have to get that.
So we have a budget for the higher of the two amounts, whatever that one is.
So is that something
If
that
we
we need to
wanna
take a
let them have
consensus
an
on, or is it
We
just
don't
that we
want
really
that
just
option.
need to?
Then we could just
to do
say,
that
oh, we'll do
because-
32.
well, that's what I'm saying,
I don't know.
more than your hand if you don't put the money in there. You know what I mean? That's why we use the term we're forcing their hand.
Meredith had a good question. Do we need a consensus to
Yeah,
change that?
Yeah, I
Is it
think
just-
just,
How do we move forward with that?
when it's quite a bit of difference, I think we at least all agree on it, or something, a majority agree on it. So we would change it back to 146,811. Is that correct? But that's what we think.
Or does that need to be changed based on what 27, does that include?
Well, we know that the prosecutor's not getting a raise at
Okay.
the state level,
Oh,
so
that's
we
right.
know that number now.
Okay,
But do we know the tax amount? That he's, if you would take that.
It would be less than.
He don't get the tax.
Right now, he forfeits all
All the-
that.
yeah, they
And the
will
meal.
if they take that.
I mean, there's different ways of doing your sheriff contract. I mean, feeding prisoners, you can give him money to feed the prisoner, and then he has to pay for their food. There's different ways of doing it. Most of them
This is simple.
in the past year have done a percentage.
You got all that stuff. But does this sheriff's, is that 27 pay periods, I guess is my only thought.
No, an elected official is an annual number, and you divide like ours now.
So let's,
It's the same number divided by 27 versus divided by 26. I mean,
so everybody agree on, who's in favor of putting it back to 146,000?
would be just to offer them the options, I guess.
Or just what it's in there now? Okay, so let's just change that. We'll just leave that.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Sure.
With the, back to the treasurer with his part-time person, are you gonna leave it at 18, I think, 42? Are you gonna wanna make it the same as the records? From the records perpetuation fund,
I
the
think we will.
recorders?
I think we're gonna leave it where it's at. He can
Where-
pay less.
Okay,
Because I think he set the budget, he may want to get more, it may not work out, he may want a more qualified person, pay him more.
okay,
That'd
that's
be my
fine.
opinion.
and that's it. And that's it. So much per hour.
Okay, any other changes on that we know on the sheriff? Okay, moving on.
And then you want to move the utilities, you said?
Yeah, I think we voted on, or kind of not voted on, it, but we agreed on it, having the seat
That's in the jail, not in the sheriff.
So we'd have to take that out, and it's not in the sheriff's, it's in the jail.
And then the social worker deputy, he budgeted the full amount for that, and then they are gonna have their JMH grant for a part of the year next year. Hopefully October, November. So should we adjust that?
So quarter of the year or third.
Well, probably more than 3/4 of the year,
So,
because they'll have the JMH grant through September, and then maybe it may even last a little bit longer. Like they're thinking October or November.
I mean, do we cut that amount to a third or a quarter? If there's only those.
Well, it
ones that
depends
we
on
needed?
how many pays there are. I think I calculated, for the raise we'll need, cause
The raise comes out of
The JMH grant only budgeted, she's only allowed to get that flat amount for so many years. So this year we budgeted her raise out of the general fund. So we're gonna have to do the same thing next year. So that would be for the full 26 pays. And then for the rest of the pays, I come up with like around $20,100. That would be in the sheriff's, in the general fund, so,
$20,100.
yeah, but we'll have to look at it again to be sure.
Okay. So does if that changes by $100 or so, does anyone have an issue with that if when she digs into it deeper for the final budget? So. Okay, so the next one is the surveyor. It's a tough one, he's always asking for more money. No, I don't see any change there.
No
I mean,
changes.
that's been pretty consistent in his budgeting. Coroner, any discussion there? I don't, she went all by the book too, about what we recommended. County assessor. Any discussion there?
Any changes there?
And then the prosecuting attorney. Even all the, let me get my book here, but I think all the wages were adjusted. To what kind of, to the high or what? I can't remember.
I think there's.
Her attorneys,
The attorneys were on just kind of a $5,000, $5,000 difference between three, and she kind of split it up.
But even the assistants and everybody was way above what we,
Oh, yes.
yes,
they were all above the pay rate. So again, the way I see it is, we had recommended, like, let's take a legal assistant, we had recommended $25.78 an hour. And then the prosecutor put in $26.32 per hour. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people at that rate. And then we had the lead legal assistant was at $27.02 is what we recommend, and that's what they kept her at, that's where I see it. And then the victim advocate, again, that's up to match the other ones. We had recommended $25.78. The budget shows $26.32. So are we gonna stay consistent with what the wage committee had and the wage study showed? How we worked everyone? I'll just say if we don't do that, we're gonna have a snowball effect on everybody.
I would say we follow the recommended from the wage study.
Okay, for those, that's, anybody got an opposite view of that? Okay, so we kind of agree on that. So then now we get down to the deputy prosecutors. The study showed $100,009, I thought. Let's see to make sure. And I think 2 of them were pushed up to 105 and 110. And my only comment there is I think the wage study showed everybody the same. We're getting paid by longevity. That's how you reward people. And if she would want to pay someone new coming in, she could drop them below 100,000 something. Anybody got comments on that?
I just have a question on the tan section there. Brooke, is that a change from the prosecutor, or was that a change because of an error?
100,000, 592.
Yeah.
I thought that's what we recommended. And then she's got the one person more. That's the way I interpret it. I'm not saying that's right or wrong. So is it something- this is what we recommended, and this is, she's got the one person more. At 100.
There's an error on our end.
So then the wage recommendation would have been the 100, 592?
Yes.
So that's what we would go with, on all three deputy prosecutors. Are we correct then? I mean, what the wage committee said is 100,592, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, who agrees with maintaining that? I mean, what's, what would you recommend it to go back to? Anybody against doing that? Going back to what other studies that,
About 5 pages in.
So all salaries are as recommended.
well, that's me. I think, no, I don't hear any opposition, so that means we're all in favor of it, so. So they don't go back to where they were when the committee.
What the wage setting committee recommended, or WIS recommended, yeah.
Okay.
That one is low. The one is $100,009 and the recommended is $100,592.
That's why I say she picked, because he's the new guy. the
So
new-
do you want to keep it lower or do you want to make it as recommended and she can pay them lower?
That's what I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
She could pay him less. Okay, then. Registration voters don't mean anything.
No.
County co-op, the Purdue Extension. And again, I don't
think I have anything different.
Anything that would change the telephone.
Mhm.
And that's probably
That's right there.
change page, yeah. Anybody see anything or change anything for Purdue Extension? Hearing none, we'll move on. Okay, next is the VSO. And on that, we're changing, the commissioners approved that position as at full-time and the assistant that remains at part-time. So we have to decide if that's what we want to agree with. Any comments on that? To have the VSO with full-time with benefits, even though he says he may not take them as far as health insurance. We may mention that, I think he's got, but I think we have to fund it with whatever.
We have to fund it, but you don't have to
You
use it.
don't have to take it, it doesn't want to. Comments on that with anybody? Okay. Don't hear any, so we don't get a consensus if nobody's objecting, so.
Are you on the VSO full-time?
Yes.
Well, I mean, that's what, nobody's saying.
I just want to catch up to where you were.
I think
Do we wanna
Mike
show
said-
I think I'm okay with it knowing that the assistant's staying at a part-time. I think that's where I was uncertain when, I think originally it was proposed maybe making both of them full-time, so I think that's a nice balance.
I think it's a good start, yeah.
Right. Kind of see where we're at. So knowing that,
I mean, everybody's in agreement, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then the county council, guys want to knock the president down a little bit?
I don't think we can single you out.
I don't have any changes, really. Anyone?
No.
Hearing none, we'll move on. County Election Board. Again, we voted for that Integra program as far as this year. Do we want to maintain that?
I
Yes.
think so.
Yes,
Okay. So
it really sounded beneficial.
Especially following the regulation that, all of our financials have to be publicly available, and that makes it an easy searchable source. I think that's a no-brainer to keep that going.
Okay, then, Peter Bowl board, that doesn't, there's not really a lot of change there, actually dropped. So that's okay. Okay, then the commissioner's budget, we're gonna have to take a look at this. And first off is the county administrator. We got it in there, what was recommended as far as the salary. I think I would not be, if that's approved, I would not be in favor of paying anyone to start out with anyway, because we don't firmed up a job description and we don't. So I'm just thinking if that was paid, it would be 90% or less for the first year until we get something organized.
But that would be up to the commissioner to choose to pay someone less. It wouldn't affect the
Right.
number that's
No.
proposed for the.
Right.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I'm just saying
No,
my
that's okay.
thoughts, if
You're just
it
giving
does get approved, I mean. So, any comments there? Do we? It's approved by the commissioners, so it's just a matter of us funding it.
I think I've gone on the board meetings and said, sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, I know.
It's just that I have felt before that it's beneficial. I think we kind of had a funky start to introducing that perhaps the first time around. I think we've given some more thoughtful consideration to that. And I don't know, my stance is still that I think is more of an efficiency and more of a benefit to the county than not. So I would 100% recommend it myself, be in favor of it.
I'm in favor of it. I was in favor of it from the beginning, and I still think there's so much unfinished work and work that's not being performed that's really hurting the county. So I would vote for it.
I don't see it. It's like this indispensable need that's came out of nowhere. We've had a county government for 200 years without a county administrator. I think 20 counties in Indiana have them. And a lot of people, I mean, they got raises this year, but we're just keeping our head above water. Now, if you guys are right, they bring in tons of grant money, it will pay for itself. But I don't see the need right now. And I couldn't imagine voting for it with the budget situation we have.
Anyone else?
I agree. I don't see being able to fund it. I mean, we're talking about, getting raises or not being able to, making the current positions correct. And now we're adding on another position. I wasn't for it to begin with. And I mean, if it does get passed and the person, like Alex said, does get tons of grants, then I'm wrong. But I don't see it either. I don't see this position. I just don't see the value of it when we have other employees, like officials in the county that are supposed to do the tasks.
Any other comments?
I think county administrator would be a good move. If we say no before we give it a chance to work, I think we're cutting ourselves out. The counties that I had spoken to, which I did that study, it was a year ago though, were very happy. I didn't have any negatives. from that the pay range was, I was looking for my file, but I can't find it. The pay range, you know, was up and down, and I tried to do a comparison with the ones that were the closest to us. And, but they all found the position to be extremely beneficial. You know, some of our commissioners with full-time jobs, I think you're out of county, right, with your job? It just makes it hard, you know, for the people, to get faster connections. So.
Well, that and also the continuity of a lot of those positions too. You know,
Right.
people naturally, as a part of this process, come on and off, you know, some of those different boards. I feel like you almost have to have somebody that sort of ties all those things together to kind of keep certain balls in the air.
I do think the job description could use a little bit of redefining. I think I agree with the safety position in there to actually do a good safety program for our county is gonna take quite a bit of time. So, but then the commissioners can direct that individual to do as much or as little, you know, as they would like it, that position to hold. So,
I think too, to maybe try to allay some of those fears, I think that some of the public has had as well. I mean, I would expect just as our highway administrator and other folks, they will have report outs to the commissioners. So the good thing about that is that our public will be able to follow along, I think, with that progress too, and kind of move through that and then hopefully, find that some benefit, so.
So next year at this time, is it realistically possible we'll be hiring somebody to oversee zoning? Because I've heard it both ways, but I'm thinking we're gonna have zoning the way this is trending. How many jobs are we gonna need to create next year? Is this person gonna do that job? How's all this gonna work? I think Dina nailed on the head with the job description. It needs to be tailored to what this person does, because the job description I read a year ago sounds like a CEO of everything. I can't imagine this person could even fathomably do all that stuff. So if this zoning is gonna go through, who's gonna take care of that? Are we gonna hire another salary that we don't have money for?
I think it really just depends on how heavily you go into the zoning. From what I understand from being a part of that management team, it's I think if we were to adopt, for example, I keep saying a zoning light, you know, not such a heavy piece of that. Probably the reality is we wouldn't need anybody, you know, like even maybe full-time. We're not gonna have probably that many instances of folks that are gonna have to come in front of a planning commission to have, you know, because it's probably not gonna be that robust or that, so. I've been told that you can contract some of those things out, you know, in the beginning as people are getting footing, different things like that. So there could be a variety of things. I don't know that it would have to be a full-time person, but you're saying even other support staff, is that what you need to, Alex, besides?
Yeah, and potentially other new jobs, you know, in the future. That every county with zoning may have somebody that takes care of zoning, but again, 20 counties have this administrative officer that we're proposing.
And, you know,
I
somebody,
think I look at it differently than Mary did. I think no matter if zoning, no matter if it's light or regular, whatever it is, I think it's gonna require some full-time, some sort of office that has a staff or something like that. I think it's gonna be not just one full-time person, probably more.
Even at the beginning, you feel it would be
I think so, to
right
get
off the
it all
bat.
started and up and running and done correctly and done to where it's for.
And it could be, I'm not saying it wouldn't be, but.
I think it probably would, if that's the direction that it goes, so I can see that being a huge expense, possibly. You know, so, and since, we're gonna have to cut $2.5 million from the general fund, I don't know.
They're saying to save the powers for the potential zoning job. That's kind of
If that's what we have to do, if that's what it's decided, then, I don't know.
yeah, so if we went with the, excuse me, if we went with the zoning, a county administrator, that person would be learning the county as they would move through the year, and maybe that's the person that would move over to do the zoning.
It could be.
full-time also.
Right.
Instead of starting cold, I know our departments like to have somebody in there initially, in their departments before the changeovers happen.
Right.
So that's just a thought.
The other thing is, there would be fees involved. When you got zoning, you're gonna have fees.
And ordinance compliance.
You're gonna have to, when you have a building permit or something, you're gonna have to be paying for that. Somebody is, so I mean, it's gonna increase the cost of construction. That's just normally how it is. That's how that's how you pay for your inspection fees. Just like the state, when you build a building, I mean, that's thousands of dollars that the state collects. I'm not saying the county would have to do that, but there's gotta be building permits and fees.
Well, and ordinance compliance, and if you don't have somebody in the county to enforce that, then you don't have zoning essentially, so
You would have to be
that won't be third party all the time.
So what you're saying, like, is that the zoning is gonna be self-sustaining?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it could possibly be offset, some of it with through fees. I'm not saying that you could probably never come, you couldn't raise the fees high enough to pay for that.
No, I don't think so either.
So,
Kind of like community directions, they thought it would be self-sustaining.
so, anyone else? Anything to say?
I don't remember who touched on the job description that was previous from last year. Very broad, some would say vague, lack of ownership. There's no one currently doing that job. So no one, that title currently owns nothing. When the chief of police was replaced after retirement, he gained ownership of everything the previous chief of police had. So as you read that job description, no, there's no ownership because there's nobody currently doing that job. And so as the position grows and morphs, yes, it's gonna own each thing that it takes on. But on paper, it just doesn't look it yet. I think that is going to be an ever evolving,
Documentary.
it'll be a live document that will gain as it grows.
Because, things will change also.
Absolutely.
In the county, I mean, the priorities are gonna change,
Right, then I think it would be up to the commissioners to direct that person on what is the most important function that they can serve.
I feel like the county has changed so much just within the last 8 years as far as regulations and stuff like coming down from the state and, different projects that happen. I feel like county administrator would be a good thing to help the county, the commissioners, whoever. But yes, to try and get a good job description, which I think that's been worked on and that's, been, reined in a little bit, but I don't see it as a bad thing for the county at all. Because nothing is getting simpler.
No,
That's true, and nothing relieves their
Could we put a-
from their responsibility anyway. I mean, that they ultimately will,
they are the executive.
they are.
Could you guys put a clause in if you pass this, if this is the first thing cut on the tight budget year for the next fiscal year? This job is eliminated if we have to cut a job. I mean, I'd like to see something like that, if it's gonna be created.
I wouldn't be in favor.
I wouldn't be in favor of it either, simply because if it proved itself the way that I think that it will, I think that you would be finding it hard to cut that, because you probably would be, again, like I said, gaining certain efficiencies. That would be hard for me, I think.
I wouldn't want to cut a job that's doing what it's supposed to be doing.
And I think there's with AI and some of the changes, we could, just like we kind of froze a position at Purdue Extension, I wouldn't want to do that.
But if it's not doing what it's supposed to be doing, then we can always,
Well, then it's up to the committee.
That would,
yeah, that would
commissioners,
be up to the
exactly, so.
commissioners, yeah.
Okay, we gotta move on, so, let's have a show of hands. Who's in favor of leaving the 81,000 in there? So, looks like 5-2.
You said something about the 90%, you said leave.
No, I said that's what I would go for. I probably won't have the authority to do that. I'm just saying.
But you're gonna leave the 81,000 in there.
I think we have to do that. I'm just saying, I think it's up to commissioners, what kind of qualified person can we find? I would like to, my suggestion would be to get this all going, well, I don't think someone should be paid that much.
So we originally said 75, so
So,
it's our decision, it's our responsibility, not the commissioners to determine the pay for this position, it's ours. So if that's what is the thought or the opinion of then why vote for the 81, then it's not something that is, if you're gonna keep it in there.
I think the 81 was still low from the wage
But
study.
Yeah.
I think that's what
I agree with but there's been discussion about that being too high, and that being not what someone's comfortable with. So that's not what we're comfortable with, and commissioners choose to pay it at 81. We're basically saying they're making the decision on what the pay should be, so that's our responsibility. That's what I'm just saying.
I don't totally agree with that, because we just made a change with the treasurer. He's got 18 something an hour to pay his part-time people. We're leaving the 18 in there, and he's gonna pay them 15 maybe, or 16, whatever it is, 16, 15 at minimum. So I think that's the same position here.
It's
Yeah,
the opposite position because he's paying them less. He doesn't have to pay them up to the 18. They're saying, we originally it was 75,000 and now we're going to 81,000.
Because that's what the wage study showed.
I imagine the wage study is not real accurate considering a lot of counties don't have this position. I bet their sample was only 2 or 3.
Just had that pulled up, I just copied it too. It's a lot more in most counties.
Yeah, I found the study that I did last year. I talked to all these counties. A few of them didn't get back with me. But, and I think Alex, last year you asked me a question about population. We were at 43,637 population. Dearborn County is 50,700, so they're a little above us. Their position paid 76,000 last year. And then Montgomery County is below us in population at 37,900, and they paid their county administration 106,000, which I was really surprised. But I have all of the job descriptions for those two. I kind of passed some of those out, and Wabash was 64,500, but their population is 31,000. And then you go up to Wayne County, they were at 105,000. Everybody else was over 100,000. But they did get back with me.
Okay.
So just to give you some perspective, and
I think like doing every other, there's a lot of other departments in here that we've got the wage set higher than what they're wanting to pay. So I think we just leave it at 81 is my vote. So if they want to, if commissioners, whoever wants to pay them less, if we can't find anybody qualified, or I just think the learning experience here, I don't know if I'd want to pay them that, if it's maybe the first year, or if it's the first 8 months or 6 months, but I think we're going with the wage study and everything else. I think we stick with the wage study. On the low end, so. Commissioner, I don't see anything with the president and the attorney. I think that all went up according to what the wage study or wage.
Commissioners didn't take a pay increase.
That's
They
right.
did not.
The attorney has recommended.
So I think a lot of this, like the solid waste management committee, that was all verified, that's correct, the published budget. I mean, she didn't ask for more. Like the group insurance, again, that's something I would think to balance the budget. I think we're gonna have to move that line item into the lit.
Do you want to move all of it or just part of it?
Well, I think I had some discussion that possibly we're gonna be way behind again this year. And that we don't have enough in the budget, and what we have in there.
I will probably know in the next month if we're gonna need more or not.
4 million, so I would think we should move it all, so we got some cushion in the general fund.
You're talking for the group insurance?
Yes.
Lit CR tax.
No, just
Limited.
Let it-
Yeah.
I mean, you want discussion on that, or how? I mean, that's about the only way I can see balancing the budget without,
And it's a large number.
it's just one transfer, and it's so unpredictable.
Yeah,
You know, if our claims continue to go up, that number's gonna be 5.5 million for next year. And then, you gotta stop me if you see Older American Center, they pushed that to 25,000. Anybody got any concern with that? Matrix stayed the same, 170. Building liability insurance went up 50,000, 600,000. There's not much we can do about that, I don't think. Workman's comp is based on our audit, and our comp rate. Soldier burial,
Sandy has a question.
On the FICA and perf,
yes,
after we go through everything, we may adjust those two numbers based on the salary changes that you guys are doing.
yeah, that would make,
Okay.
that makes
We'll try to
sense.
get them as close as we can, but I just wanted, those two numbers may change.
Yeah, thank you, that makes sense. I can see anybody get burial soldiers, and I think the commissioners decided to do that and put that in the budget, I don't know if, so do we agree with that 30, went from 10,000 to 30,000?
Well, that's where we
I think
increased it from 100 or 150 with a marker to 300, and that was changed this year.
Yeah, we're about $100 burial, 50 marker, is that what?
It was 100 for the burial, 50 if they had a marker,
Okay, yeah,
and then went to 300 total.
the total, yeah.
A lot of these never changed. Life Springs is set right by,
That's a set by the statute.
Yep.
And you have to leave it in county general, you can't take it out.
Okay,
If not, you don't get credit on our levy.
Then it stays.
That stays.
Yeah.
We learned the hard way one year, we moved it and we had to put it back.
so then getting down to animal control, dog control, move that to 17,000. So we all agree with that.
Like I said, the commissioners yesterday said not to put crisis connection in this budget. You guys asked that last week.
oh, okay.
They said no.
I think we went through.
If you want it somewhere, you have to put it in somewhere else. Commissioners, not that way.
No, I didn't, I think last month, or last week, we just wanted their approval to do anything, so I think if they don't agree, I don't. Solid Waste Management District. I guess we discussed that, but
That is another number that you could move to live, you have before in previous years.
I think let's just move it in the general, if we're gonna move the whole insurance budget over. Anyone else got anything on the, I don't see anything else that I had marked on the commissioner budget. Hearing none, we'll move on. Courthouse maintenance. Custodian utilities really was the only big one that went quite a bit more. And the wages are all what the recommended was on other certain. Brooke, you got any comment on that one? I think all the wages are what we recommended. Any comments on that? Superior Court. Okay. Superior Court. think the wages were all, well, we gotta go through.
I think did the guys recommended.
There's the stipend in here for probation,
Oh,
but probation, it's out of the user fund, so that'll be later.
So. So the wages, we agreed that were all correct. Of what we recommended as a wage committee for the wage study. So everything got kept the same.
The exception of that pink line.
The probation assistant is the only one that had a highlight. You know, did we find that out or what?
Her stipend is included in there. She got paid out of two funds,
Okay,
and she got paid a stipend. So that's included in
is that?
that amount. And they just did what was
You just
recommended.
changed, okay, you put the
I think
stuff,
the coloring's just off.
okay.
It just looks like the others.
Okay.
There's not enough color in the color wheel.
I don't think we have anything else there. Wages. Superior Court. Anybody else see anything?
I don't see her. Oh, she's in two different funds.
What?
She's not in.
No, they moved her.
She's moved.
They
to a
moved
different
Kerrigan Masterson into Superior Court.
And
So
they
you
moved
will
her
see that.
fund to the
And it
juvenile.
has court assistant, but that really should be probation officer at the top, towards the top. She's like the fourth one down.
Yeah.
So that's Kerrigan Masterson. She's a probation officer. They moved her from a user fee to the general fund. And they put Jamie, the probation assistant, from the general fund into the user fee.
Okay. And you're straight on that. I mean, I don't have any issue with it. So, any other comments on the Superior Court? Well, with everything else I brought.
So the 21,000 in stipends,
Right, yes, it does.
That's in one of their user fees.
That's
It'll be
okay.
coming,
It comes
coming
up.
later.
It's on page 20.
I
We'll find it later.
Yeah, we'll get it later.
And then Circuit Court, this is where all of them were in the middle. Pay scale or whatever we want to call it. Range. The three people. We recommended, the 20, 27 and 24, and he it's up about. So there again, I would recommend him to go back to,
Go back to page zero, that's process.
oh, this is circuit court.
That's the process.
Yeah,
No, that's the same thing. you know?
Yeah, that all falls
I-
in
I-
there.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm sorry. So there again, I think if we're gonna go by the past recommendations here, we go back to the hourly rate that the wage study showed. And we were gonna add 25 cents, so gotta make sure that's on there at the lower amount. Does everybody agree on that one?
So it should be from.
So it's basically 20, the book shows 26.83 an hour.
So this amount you have with the budget over here is wrong then?
Yeah, we'd have to change the budget, I guess.
So these are all,
So we're moving these to.
Wait, what's wrong?
well, you can't budget pennies, so
She's
it
saying
rounds to
that
here.
this is all
But you have to
pushed up,
take
so
this
that's
rate,
here.
and then they get a quarter more, because he's getting,
It's wrong.
normally the league gets a dollar more, but they're changing. He's gonna spread it
I
out.
thought he was
That's
just saying
the
something
amount.
else.
Each get a quarter more
That's
than what's
what
recommended.
he suggests.
You know what the
I have to
actual
check that
was,
quarter
that's
in
requested,
here.
that's over the recommended.
Oh, yeah, that's what's.
Yeah,
Is that quarter in this amount?
so it'd be
So this times,
48,830 with the 25 cents.
I have 48,829.
Yeah, so 48,830. That's with the 25% extra that they split amongst, right? Those four.
Court reporter.
The court reporters.
So you,
Yeah.
do you see anything else that's out of line there besides? I think the pay, and you'll adjust that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is the ambulance. I don't have any changes there. See any? So the, emergency management. I have any changes there. Communications 911. Again, I don't think everything's by the, it isn't.
You need to discuss the assistant director. He moved her up $1 an hour.
And she does not get any kind of,
No holiday pay.
no holiday pay. So that's what,
that's not in this budget, that's in surcharge.
Oh, yeah.
That'll come later.
Makes sense.
so we're okay at this point. Weights and measures. There again is another example of what the budget, published budget says and what he's asking for. The public budget said 33,750, he's asking for 29,609. I don't see anything else there. HR department. I think they're the only one that, stands out to me was the HR study and handbook, 21,000. Does everybody agree with that? That I think he's wanting to get some job descriptions updated, possibly rework the handbook.
Kind of view it as the rest of the unfinished work from wage study and everything that kind of goes alongside that, so I kind of think we have to do that.
I think this might be a good job for the county administrator, so maybe we could cut that. They could work on the updating the job descriptions and stuff. Wouldn't that be possible?
I think some of it would be, Alex, that would be a good point, really. I just think the legal part, if we, we had a kind of a dispute with the health department on the exempt, and we had to hire out an attorney to get a
Interpretation.
what do you call it?
A legal interpreter.
Legal interpretation, yeah.
Yeah, so, that's the type of thing, I don't know if they can answer and keep up with the federal laws.
The only other recommendation I would say is you need WIS to be able to tell us how to categorize people, because we don't know that formulary.
The
on how to
factor
put people in
evaluation
the right
system.
classification.
Or we could
So-
hire a lawyer that takes that job. I mean, then they would know the stuff. I just don't think you'd find any for that pay that we're offering.
But then the only other alternative would be that you'd have to have the one-time pay for someone like a Markey to go through that additional training that was offered to learn that system. And then you have somebody in-house, I guess, that would have that to
Yeah, you
apply
could say that-
further,
I
right?
forgot that there's.
I think there was an option for that.
There was.
If people didn't know that, there was an option
It was a
to,
week-long class, but
Right.
it would be
I don't know
a
what the
week-long
cost was
class.
though.
every year.
Was every year.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna
A
be a one
one-time.
done.
And I don't know what that cost was, you recall?
I don't think he gave us a
Yeah, I don't
cost.
know that he
He
did.
just said that it was a week-long class, but that would get you up to snuff for right now. But obviously,
Mm-hmm.
every entity changes every year potentially. And, you know, what you're doing right now is not gonna be correct and accurate next year.
I think some of that money though is the reworking the handbook. I mean, it's not all going to Wagner, Urban and Chief.
Well, they did our handbook.
Pardon me?
They did our handbook.
Yeah.
The last time Brooke and I were on that committee, and it took us about 6 months, and we read it about 18 times. But
I guess my point was, it's not
it
all,
was not fun.
it's not all the future wages, it's more something we're gonna have.
Well, you're gonna have to update your handbook, like you said, with all these, I mean, there's gonna be policy changes, there's gonna be, I mean,
With
there's a
longevity.
lot,
Longevity pay and everything.
not
So it
just
have to be
that,
added.
but yeah, with the wage study, there's a lot of components with policies that go with that wage study.
I have no issue with it, I mean, but I'm just so everybody understands it, if somebody's got an objection.
I think our handbook's, 3 years old now, and they recommend every 3 to 5.
So we all right with human resources then? Approved. And then the jail, all the wages were, as the wage study said, indicated. Again, the only one, I mean, one of the one down the line is the utilities.
Utilities, yeah. And we kind of already discussed that, right,
Right.
earlier. So we were all okay with that, it sounded like,
Yes.
right? To move to
Okay,
the
you said
CR.
move utilities. Earlier, we talked about the UPS maintenance as well.
I think we talked about it, but I don't think we talked about moving.
I don't know if we talked about moving it either.
I think you just mentioned that.
Okay, I just have a question, move to CL.
I mean, we could do that, it does the jail, and it doesn't, I think, community correction bowed out of it because he said he doesn't use it. That they don't use that system. Just that's something we want to maybe still move, and see, you know, I mean, that would be a good use and get it out of the jail. You know, that's just the battery, they come in and check the, you know, for the, it's more for nothing.
I'm just wondering if it stays here, it'll be in their budget, and it's more aware that you need to take care of it. They don't always see the other budget, the jail, I mean.
So
So you think he would keep it in the jail?
I'm wondering if it would be more visible here to know I need to take care of it.
I mean, it's fine with me.
And it's not a
$8,000.
huge amount, I mean, meaning that you're moving the utilities over, you're getting a good chunk of that out of there, I guess, so I can kind of see what you're saying with that.
So we kind of agree that we just leave it in there.
Just leave that one, I
Just leave it in general. Kind of general. I don't see, does anyone else have anything there? I don't see.
So to clarify,
Pardon me?
we're moving the utilities but keeping the annual UPS.
That's. Sanitation, any comments there? I didn't make notes of anything. 4D child support program, that's, the pay is, we're gonna have to adjust the pay back to, I think all three of the employees there were
For the
over
recommended.
the recommended, yes. So, does everybody agree we just move those back where we were?
Yeah.
Okay.
that would also affect Berlin budget.
For their line items, yes.
But
So
they're
you
like,
can't really go by this.
No, we discussed that, yeah, you cannot go by that.
And soil and water, unless we got something else, I don't see anything else that we discussed anywhere highlighted in the 4D budget. Soil and water, that wages were all as per the wage study.
Which one's wrong?
Community
Said that soil water was per the wage study.
Oh,
No
gotcha,
changes.
no changes.
Community corrections maintenance, that, I don't see anything there.
You said move the utilities?
Do we want to move the, I didn't count, oh yeah, the 52, I'm sorry, this. 52. So the lit, the changes there, so then the lit we went through already, economic. We went through all that this morning. So do we need to get to clerk's perpetuation fund? I don't have any, I don't have anything there. The CTP, it hasn't changed except for copier. I don't see anything there. Cume Bridge. So the laborers, he's got the laborers in there, they were all according to the wage study, the employees.
So. Here, right? These here, the DDs, like the laborers here.
They're in the highway,
Right.
Go back.
Yeah. But they're just the ones that are funded for
but
the
they,
fume.
like I say, most all the highway went according to the recommendation.
Yes,
So
correct.
we don't have,
Nothing to
I don't
debate
think we
further.
really have anything to debate it. And you kind of had a little bit in that we got that all rectified. And
Well, there was the fleet shop manager and then also the foreman. We went back and relooked at their job description. I think the foreman was not really an all-inclusive with the way the description was versus the job that they're actually doing. So they went back and rehashed that and reclassified them. I think the wage study results is what we used with that new classification. So I don't think there was anything above and beyond.
so, Brooke, do you agree with that on the highway? Do we have any issues with labor? I mean,
The laborers,
in general, I mean, because it's a line item here in the Cume Bridge. I mean, I don't see any.
I don't think the bridge laborers were, I thought they were fine.
Okay, that's what I was kind of getting at. So do you see the county engineer we went through this morning? I mean, that's split, that all, nothing,
Ever since Levi's been here, he's been split.
yeah. Did you have any notes work on the Hume Bridge, overall, I don't see anything that I had noted. Okay. Then Hume Bridge development, kind of
Cube
touch
cap,
Okay.
ambulance, highway vehicles, went to zero. I mean, the note I made was, you know, the sheriff is probably gonna ask for vehicles, the new sheriff probably at the end, you know, we normally, the reason we didn't put it in here is because we wanted them to come and that we could review and get quotes. So, I mean, but, you know, with those new deputies and stuff, I mean, they promised they wouldn't do anything this year or need anything, but possibly next year, so that would be an additional, something, probably.
it could be a cube cap, I think there'd be enough money there.
Would there,
Next year, I think there would be, depending on how much you spend.
you know, I guess, this is something I overlooked. You know, why doesn't the highway vehicles, you know, that he always has that 5-year plan? I mean, does that just be paid out of, how's that paid?
It depends what fund buys it, if they have enough in that fund.
Like the highway fund or the bridge fund or something?
Our sanitation, solid waste.
Because it looked like we had 400,000 in there last year, now we don't have anything.
Trying to remember, was there a big ticket item that
Well, they-
was
Did he get
replaced?
something this year? A new vehicle?
do they do an additional?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they do additionals as they
We
need,
went after some kind of semi or something, didn't we?
roller or something.
Yeah.
Sure we did.
So, I mean, it's okay, I just,
They usually ask for more if they need it.
Yeah.
Like do an additional.
and that came out of. It came out of King Cap, so. I think we went over the rest of it here this morning. I don't have any issues with the rest of the King Cap. Emergency planning, local emergency planning, there's nothing there. Firearms training, we moved that in so he doesn't. Okay, the recorder's enhanced access, she went through that with us. Firearms training is the difference, you know, it's, so I have to shift that so they wouldn't have to come in for additionals, more or less.
That can only be used for their ammunition or guns or weapons or vests or whatever, so.
So they're budgeting 20,000 for next year. Okay, the health department then. I think he kind of went,
We probably recommendation.
yeah, followed everything. Very high mark. Anybody, do you have anything, Brooke, that you may have noted on the health budget? I didn't note anything, I didn't see anything.
No, just that the nurses are moving into exempt.
Yes. But that's been approved by both us and the commissioners.
Right.
Security
The
protection,
ordinances already were approved.
security protection, we talked about that. Health First Indiana. Again, the wages were within what the wage study said. Did you have anything there first? So that's good. Local health maintenance.
They're not using that right now. They're not using that fund.
Yeah, that's good here. Local road and street. I think we went through that this morning. I don't have
That's been the
anything.
same for as
Just
long as I've worked here.
Materials. Misdemeanor, we talked about, there's no changes there. Highway administration. Okay, so we're gonna have to get in something here from you. The wages were all. What we.
Either what we originally proposed or him
when we went back and revisited.
So we've got, I guess in that, should we be in this department, I guess, so we have to make a decision on how do we want to handle the request that Donnie made this morning, that, I guess first of all, the snow plowing or the tree cutting and stuff, that, do we want to have discussion here on how do we handle those three? And is there 4 foremen or 3?
3 districts.
3 districts, so what is Cole's?
Sanitation. He drives
And he's a foreman?
Of sanitation.
of sanitation.
And then you have a
He
bridge
drives
foreman
there.
as well.
So we're only
You have a
talking,
bridge foreman as well.
Yes.
so we're talking about 3 foremen that are in charge of a district. And the superintendent out there wants to give or recommend that we pay them not only double pay to go out for a minimum of 2 hours. If there's a call out, if they have to go do it, it's whoever's gonna do it gets double pay for 2 hours. And then I guess he's using his own equipment, and the only thing I was thinking of is, should we put a time limit on that? You know, if it's let's say a tornado or something, that's 3 trees are down, and it's gonna take 6 hours or 8 hours for a guy to do that, but you can't only do it, he's gonna have to call in. Are we gonna pay everybody that minimum if it's out at midnight, or, you know, whatever, off hours? You know, that's the other thing, because you know, 1 tree, you normally send 1 guy out and he gets his chainsaw and cuts what's on the road and pushes it off, and then they clean it up later.
But we're saying give the foreman, whether it goes out or not, right? Because he could delegate that to someone else if he's not in the area. An additional $1 an hour.
That's the other part of it, yes.
So we're paying him an extra $1 to possibly, so chooses to delegate and not do the work. Just to have the phone on and facilitate that.
Should we take, I'm just asking, maybe should we take 1 at a time? The snow, or not, I keep looking at my notes here, snow, but it's tree cutting. If there's an emergency, like he mentioned high water signs, he mentioned somebody runs down a stop sign and the sheriff's department says we need to get this back up, there could be another wreck here, or a tree cut, and so there could be a couple issues out there. So do we want to set a policy that this person would make a minimum of 2 hours and pay him double time what he's making? And then he gets, after that, he would still, I took it that he would still get paid for, you know, if it takes 3 hours, he's gonna get double time for the 3 hours. But he automatically gets 2 hours if it takes a half hour for him to do it, or 2 hours, you know, up to 2 hours. That's the way I took it.
And the double time just starts once they're past their normal quitting time.
Yes.
Yes,
I
so
think
outside of
Just-
work hours.
Either before or after, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
right, because otherwise he would just be called
Right
out
now,
during the day and do it.
ERT time is addressed in the handbook. So that's already in the handbook. You're gonna have to amend the handbook as well as,
So it's a time and a half now,
and a minimum of something.
minimum 2 hours.
Right.
Is what he
Probably knows
always
more about
kept
it than I
saying.
do.
I never looked at the handbook, but so.
What's that mean, emergency response time?
So it's for everybody.
And I don't know if this
Well,
is,
that's kind of where I'm questioning, is this something the commissioners need to approve before it even comes back to us?
Well, that's who he presented to. What did he say?
yesterday he presented it and they are looking at it and he said bring back the consensus was to proceed, but he has to bring back handbook like amendment to the handbook. So they're working on that.
Donnie sat here and told us that they were for it, so
Well, they said proceed, but they didn't formally approve anything because they didn't have the handbook
sure.
We
amendment.
have to approve the way.
We do, but the question was, what do the commissioners think, or we want to go through them first? I think they kind of
They
made
kind of gave
their
him a
opinion known.
consensus to proceed yesterday.
Yeah, they, correct me if I'm wrong, but the commissioners approved him to come to us to ask for the funds. That's how I understood it.
So I don't know if this is a two-step process, like the foreman get extra money because they're taking the phone calls, and then whoever does the work is the double time.
That's what I
That's what I'm
understood.
thinking.
That's what I understood, as either they could do it on their own if they're close, or if it's too far away for them, or if they choose not to do it, then they can call someone else and see if they can get someone else to do it, but
So I think this
I thought.
$1
they were
extra is
exclusive from each other.
be on call
Yes.
and to take the call initially, and then
That's what
Whether
he
they
wants.
get the other money or not, it depends if they go or pass it on to another employee.
that's what I'm,
So we're paying them $1 for responsibility. Whoever actually goes there gets the 2 hours minimum.
That's what
But I thought that was
And
already.
this is
in the
already-
form.
pardon me,
I thought that was already in their
that's what I,
description.
that's why I thought it got adjusted. But I thought Marky said that, I thought he said that this morning that wasn't the case, but that they just readjusted their job description, but it didn't say that part of it.
I don't believe that was in the job description. This is a new ad for that job description.
And then this dollar that's being considered would be on top of what we already increased as a part of the normal wage anyways.
I want him to explain better.
So we're still confused.
Oh, still confused, huh? Okay. So the highway. I guess what's the question?
The three
So-
foremen,
We're in the three forms.
If we're gonna pay, we're kind of agreeing possibly on double pay for the 2 hours, that whoever goes out to do the work, actual physical work.
Yep. Okay.
And then they, up to two, they get paid 2 hours if it took an hour or a half hour.
Yep.
it's a
Yeah.
minimum of 2
And
hours.
and if they work 3 hours, they get 3 hours of double pay.
Yes.
That's, okay, so we got that.
Okay. And then that extra $1 that he's talking about for the forwards, right? That basically what he's wanting to do there is, right now, it's just him and Levi. And I think Tim is on call. So he's wanting to market it up where now the foremans are now on call. And all of them will be on call. So basically, the 911 center, if they had a tree down, they would have the map and they would see, okay, I need to call T-Bird in this certain district. So then they'll automatically call him. Now, if he don't answer, then they would call Donnie. And for that, that's where the extra $1 comes into play.
So is there, I mean, if whoever takes that call and they just call somebody and say, hey, can you go take care of that tree on whatever road, that foreman that just took the call, do they get paid like a minimum, like hour, an extra $1 an hour rate?
No, if they don't go out, they would just get that $1 if you guys would decide to do that. They would just do that. Then whoever they called in would then get the double time.
The three foremen would get an extra $1 an hour.
But now the foreman would go out themselves and take care of it, then they would be eligible for the double time.
I thought within the wage study, that was already kind of figured in.
There wasn't a recommendation for another $1 an hour for foreman. It
Yeah.
wasn't necessarily for something, it was just that the foreman needed to be separated by that $1 an hour, and I think that's already in there.
The job description of being.
Yeah, that you're correct, that was already done. This kind of all come to fruition, last week, I guess.
Like that extra $1 an hour is just across the board, across their pay for the foreman.
Yes, yeah, that was already built in the original wage study that we all looked at.
And so it wouldn't just be $1, it'd be $1.50 on their 5 hours of overtime,
Well, correct, yeah, I mean,
because they're guaranteed 5 hours of overtime.
So we're not considering adding an additional $1 on top of what?
well, that's what Donnie's proposing today.
Okay, sorry,
Yes,
I think I
yes.
misunderstood you when you
So-
said that was part of the original wage study, that dollar. So right now, we've already, what the council or the had recommended is about $2 or $3 more. This is an additional dollar.
Correct.
A
Yeah,
whole new situation.
Whole new
brought to
situation.
light.
Yeah, yeah.
Not
Another
their
dollar.
yeah.
Yes.
That, whenever they
A whole
said
new
that,
fresh dollar.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because whenever they said that the foreman were gonna get paid that extra dollar
Yeah.
recommendation, that was already done.
So then if that was in the job description and we have, considered that as we have all the other roles, I guess I'm having a harder time.
Well, now
deciding
the on-call stuff wasn't in the job description, the original job description. That's done, that meeting, we
Or even
just,
the most recent.
in the most recent meeting, that kind of, that midnight hour thing, and that's what I told him, I did tell him, I said it'd be I said, it kind of puts us in a bad spot because we'd already discussed it.
Yeah.
The budget was already kind of in position, and I said, now, you're mentioning this, which is okay, but it's not what was originally discussed or planned.
Aren't the foremen already basically being called in a different order? Donnie's calling them.
Yeah, usually, yes, Donnie's taking a lot. I think that's one of the other things,
Doing.
I think Donnie,
They would delegate all of them. But it's just taking Donnie out of the equation.
yeah, getting him
It's
off.
not like it's changing anything that they've already done.
Not really, no.
So I guess I don't understand why.
And are they all on call,
Only
like,
because the
all the
wording wasn't
time?
in the description.
Essentially, yeah, yeah.
I know some-
24/7.
I mean,
We're
you say-
assuming that.
Yeah, so.
And then that means Donnie would no longer ever be on call unless maybe someone was on vacation or, something like that.
But
Like,
Donnie's
on
on,
him.
Donnie's automatically gonna be a default. If they-
Well, okay.
Yeah, they
So
call,
technically,
if they call
a
foreman
second.
for whatever reason, he don't answer, then they're calling ours.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it
But then they still get the
it
dollar.
doesn't change anything with what
Sure.
the responsibilities were already.
I know.
I think part of where I have an issue, I'll be honest, is that we've been at this now for so many months, I guess, and it's difficult, like, why didn't we have I get it, maybe this is a learning process for everyone, but wish we would have had a cleaner intake, I think, going in, so I'm just gonna be honest and say it kind of irritates me a little bit,
Back in
I'm sorry
January
to
or
say that,
February,
but,
Yeah, I wish,
because it's, I guess what I'm saying is, I've been a member of that subcommittee and I'm having a difficult time even keeping track of some of these things, I think, but I know that what they do is, very important. It's just hard to hear that, I think, at the last minute, when we know we were already offering that, a good package, I think, with the wage study, and I'm just not I'm kind of seeing what you're saying, Doug, I think.
I thought it was already put in there and I don't see the differentiation from
It's just,
what was before to what's going on now, just switching Donnie and them in the call list. I don't see any other extra responsibilities that have been created by doing that. I mean, if they were gonna get called either way, most likely.
most likely, yes, because usually Donnie was the one who took the call, and then he would usually get a hold of that foreman and let that foreman dictate it, usually. I think that's what.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
Basically, he's getting stretched in. He takes a lot of calls,
Yeah.
him and Levi,
Yeah.
all of them.
So some places, not government, private, they'll have one person on call for a week and then they rotate.
Yeah.
Rather than everybody getting a
Exactly.
$1 an hour raise year round, that you would get that $1 an hour raise that week you're on
Mhm.
call,
Mhm.
24/7. Because all four of them are not gonna go out, all four are not gonna get a call.
does that fall back to a
Right.
stipend then? If
It's
we-
called, they got city and it wasn't a stipend, they just added that.
Well, if you gave them X dollar, it would be a stipend, yes.
But like if you got an extra $1 an hour, is that still?
Well, no,
They
if
would
you
just
put
give
the
you
dollar on the
whatever-
wage, then it's done.
Yeah.
The stipend would be like for the phone situation, that is,
But if you,
right,
if you do like you're saying and say, this week you're on call, you get
Okay.
$100, that's a stipend.
Right, but if you'd say this week you're on call, you get an extra $1 an hour for don't kill me.
No, well, I think that would be very difficult with the job
Okay.
and the wage stuff, I mean, the ordinance.
And this,
Okay.
And with everything else that you guys put in place, I would be careful too. There might be other people that are on call that get other emergency phone calls in a different way.
So I guess.
So then does that, so in that case then, does that warrant the extra dollar an hour being on call in general for all four of them?
I'm gonna separate it out a little bit. So, you know, we're talking about changing their 2-hour rate, which I think is more applicable to when that phone rings, what's the benefit for me to go?
Mhm.
You know, and for that guy that, yeah, I'm available, I'll go. Rewarding. I'm good with the double time. You know, that, I want an extra dollar to answer the phone. That's a pretty big blanket. That we, you know, looking at the budget, we don't know what that even looks like because the numbers weren't presented to be prepared. I have a hard time.
It looks like around $2,500 extra dollars.
I know, it's a lot of money. It's
How much did it
not
come out to be?
Because it's all double.
Around 2,500, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, per person.
Because 5 hours of that is overtime.
And I don't want to be mean here either, but you know, I mean, the assistant superintendent and the superintendent,
Yeah,
I
they get
mean,
45 hours a week.
I mean,
Guaranteed.
their pay went up quite a bit.
Dollars,
And-
Yeah.
not cents,
So I
dollars.
don't know, I mean, it just seems like normally on a foreman, you know, you're the leader, so you're getting paid by the hour. I don't know if it deserves another hour, just that.
Well, I know what Donnie mentioned, a lot of the guys don't wanna go out when they get, you know, they wanna answer the phones or whatever, you know, I guess one thing they've got, I told him, I'd recommend him and all the foremans have a log every time they call somebody. If we got a history, we've called this guy 10 times, he's not answering his phone or he won't go out, we got a problem, you know? This person's not a team player, this person's not helping out. So the other person's getting burned out because they're taking it all the time. And, I said, that needs to be reflected at performance review, raise time, you know.
Spot on.
Now, some companies will track the call out hours by employee. Whoever is low on the list can get forced to go in. If the other.
Well, yeah,
If the other one's fine, then whoever's the lowest on the hours.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's your call.
Mhm.
I mean, that's how some companies do that too.
I mean, to put those three foremen on, you know, roughly speaking, $7,400 in wages.
7,400.
Yeah, plus like, you know, all
Wait,
that,
yeah.
another revenue.
Yeah.
Could you take the extra 5 of those hours you're
Just
on already?
take 40,
Or
30.
so double time on
No, I just looked at the,
So take
you know, what they
That's
get
fine
paid.
with me.
But I mean, it's 70, I mean, I work roughly hours.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
good.
we've got other departments too that.
I just,
We're,
2788.
and then so we have to decide, so we kind of agreed on the, I'm just thinking, we agree on the double time, right? As a council, or as far as that 2 hours, we all agree on that, so let's take one step at a time.
I'm okay with that. But you mentioned capping it at a certain amount of time.
Well, I was thinking 4 hours. You know, that they can't go out and work 8 hours at double time. That they need to call someone, I don't know if it really matters, but you know, do we want to cap that? Or is it necessary to cap?
I don't think I would cap it because at that point,
Yeah.
if it's a major ordeal and somebody's out there 8 hours, you're paying that person double time, or you're gonna pay somebody 4 and have to call somebody else in for that, you're still probably gonna pay that.
Because if the
Pretty
day,
close to the same
if it happens at 4 in the morning,
Right.
and they go to work at 6:30, it's not gonna be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
What if it
Take some
happens
phone
at
calls.
5:30 or 5:45?
Yeah, if I do that now.
I know.
No, seriously, you'll have to pay the 2 hour minimum double pay. Then they start their regular pay, that's an overlap of that amount of time.
Yeah, you're right, you're totally right.
So you can almost get triple pay.
I would question if that would fall into.
2,500 each, that,
Well, that's, I mean,
Well, I mean, you're stacking hours.
Take 40.
how would that work? I mean, that's a legitimate, that could actually happen.
Typically, what we said, and we agreed on down there, was anything within the normal scope of the job, hours, was
no, it's
normal pay.
1,180.
So I think at that point, they wouldn't get that 2 hour minimum. If it's 5:30, They go out, their start shift is at 6:30. I know it's typically a 2-hour minimum, we say, but I think at that point they would just get 1 hour.
I think that would have to be,
Yeah, I mean,
So
yeah.
is that part of what he'll be charged with in revising this in the handbook, the
Yeah,
emergency
yeah.
response fees? And then that would go back and get like approved again by the commissioners?
Right, commissioners going to have to look at it, they're going to have to.
Yeah, cause I don't want that to
So-
slip away and then not be written down somewhere, I guess, so, yeah.
So the next thing we need to vote on then is, do we wanna give the $1 an hour raise to 3 people? 3 for them.
We're trying to calculate what just the overtime is on those people.
Well, I kind of roughly did here, it's, I come up with $7,400 in wages roughly.
And I think the bad part about it, I know when I was in here earlier, you guys were talking about the, like the city of Jasper, but of course the city's got this footprint, the county's got this footprint. So let's say we got a foreman in Ferdinand that's on call this week, but it's in the northern part of the county. Then they're probably gonna still call somebody in because of the time they would leave Ferdinand and get up there.
so Brooke, you
That
said.
tree's gonna be on that road for a long
40%
period of
with
time.
5 hours overtime.
That's 10 hours.
Oh, so per pay, so the extra an hour per pay.
But the person
So you
who's
still
taking
got the
the
80
call,
hours.
like you said, lives in Ferdinand, and the tree that went down is around DuBois, that doesn't mean he's driving from Ferdinand to DuBois, he's probably calling
He's
somebody
probably-
that
yeah.
lives close.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he's not actually going out, the
Right.
person taking the call.
yeah.
He just is taking the call, calling someone and say, hey, go take
Go
care of it.
respond to this
Yeah,
situation.
please respond, and,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it would make,
The time start.
I was thinking that the workaround, if we didn't do $1 an hour, we just said, hey, set them out for this week, the weekend on call you get or whatever, but the county's so big that, probably 9 times out of 10, you're still gonna have to outreach to somebody that's closer than where you're gonna be.
Right.
I think that's I don't like that
They're at
starting.
45 hours per week, right?
Yes. Yeah.
They're at 45.
Do you have to do $1? Can you go less?
Well, I was thinking a quarter an hour more, or something like that, 25
But,
cents.
and it's just, I mean,
We could do something like that for 'em. Those 3 people. I think $1 is too much.
Then what are we gonna do for the rest of the other departments? That's what possibly be an issue with. I don't know, my opinion is like, I think the wage study already kind of figured in, so.
It's last minute.
That's the way I look at it. I agree with Doug on that. I don't think I'm inclined to do anything in this case. But the overtime, sure. I mean, but not the on-call.
So, I think that's enough discussion. I mean, who's in favor of paying $1 an hour more to these 3 for? I think is what they put.
I would be, I'm in favor of that. They don't have much differentiated salaries from just a regular truck driver. Some of them worked here less than a year. These foremen have worked here 20, 30 years. The hazard pay, the weather's getting worse all the time. Donnie and Levi got everything on their shoulders. I would give them $1.
I agree with rewarding those folks that have been here for a long time, which is why we have the longevity in there. So don't forget that piece of it too. I mean, I agree with
No, and we do have.
supporting all of them.
They
I
just
think
got
you're
a
right.
lot of young, new people in the lower roles that these guys are managing, and they don't have a big pay differentiator.
What is the pay, how much?
Well, I'm looking at 26.88 versus 23.88,
So $3 and something.
$3, $6,000 a year roughly to manage people. So it'd be, go up a little more, it'd go up to 8,000 a year roughly if you gave them that.
I think it needs more study. I think if we're gonna look at it maybe next year or something, I don't know.
I know some of the foremen there, they mentioned when we were down there that a lot of people, they're like, "Hey, if you quit, I'm not taking your job because I don't want that responsibility for, like, what do you figure,
I figure
$6,000?
$2,000 a year for 1 hour, but that's just a ballpark.
Yeah,
Rough math.
so, but they made a comment that they wouldn't take the foreman because it's not worth the, I guess, the headache,
So it's more than just this call thing. It's their overall responsibility of supervising.
Yeah. Now, we have had one foreman step down here in the last, 2 months?
Yeah, that too.
There's been a lot of.
There's Kendrick stepped down from foreman to, he went back to either equipment operator or truck driver.
I have that.
Would you you think we should consider a lower amount? To get started on, to get the, to take a look at it? You know, instead of $1, if it's 50 cents an hour, you're still getting, that's $1 an hour, but it's over.
We're the same.
So-
If they get this policy for the handbook amended, you guys could still add or change the budget until I advertise. If that helps,
Because we, you know,
Meaning if new information was learned, you're saying throughout that?
before we
We have
advertise
to
in September.
advertise.
so Doug, can you reiterate on what other departments you think would be affected by this? You see, I mean, that would be called out or be on this,
That aren't exempt.
That aren't exempt. Maybe Everett's and Dottie and maybe
They're
she's exempt. Are both of them.
Narissa's not.
Narissa's not. So that may
Candace
be
is
different.
Sheriff's Department,
Sheriff's Department.
if they have the option for paid overtime.
I mean, you could possibly have CASA too, but
Now, are you talking about emergency call in or just just regular call? I guess, what are we talking about too?
If they have that place a job in the middle of the night, would that be falling within the same kind of severity or something like that? I mean, it's an emergency situation.
I think that's more
DCS.
DCS would handle that.
And that's not under.
CASA would come in after the fact, once it goes through court.
so I guess we could go back to where we were at here. So we only had one person that's really forward. We could use Sandy's thing and we could still talk about it and get more input and talk about it at the end of our meeting in August here. And
I'm happy
talk-
to reconsider if new information comes about. I just think that's where we are right now. I just don't.
So right now, I mean, who wants to take it out or not give it, I guess? Let's see, a show of hands. I think we should not put the dollar in at this point.
Before we do that, I have a question. So we're kind of, Alice was making the point that, you know, they're supervisors over these, the other
Bridge crews.
bridge crews and stuff like that. So in comparison to other departments, like would like the supervisor that's not the head of the department, what pay difference do we have?
Oh, we had that
for those on
redone?
average? Because it looks like it's about $3 in some points.
Well, that's for the
Didn't-
truck
isn't that in the
drivers.
wage
If you
study,
go to
had them
equipment
relook at those
operator
foreman's
supervisors,
pay?
they're barely making more than the equipment operators that they're overseeing. So I use the biggest differentiated example of the newer hired truck drivers. They're lower than equipment operators.
So like you
Why just comparing different departments, like as far as that goes, the supervisors compared to that, it's probably a bigger difference with other departments than it is with these guys because of who they're over.
We have some tenured people out there that are getting longevity pay now, but they are very valuable to the county and we don't see what they do. And we're gonna give them $1 an hour raise, 3 people. It's less than 10% of the new county administrator position that we just created. And how can you argue against that for these people that keep the county running? I can't argue against that.
I mean, the only thing is, Alex, you know, we did the wage study. They turned in a job description that they were supervisors, and this is what was recommended. That's the only thing I can say. So,
Well, we had it reevaluated.
Yeah, we did add something else to it that
It was because they weren't truck driver foreman, they were foreman in general because they also supervise the
Yeah.
equipment operators.
Yeah. So
It did change the classification.
I was gonna say, at that point, the truck driver foreman was making less than the equipment operator.
Yes.
On that original proposal.
I think I changed my mind on that. I'll be for it. Look it out, but going with that, I would be for it.
I would like to do, since it came up so quick here, you know, at the last minute here, I'd like to do a little more study on it before we add it. So I think we can talk about it at our meeting in August.
So no vote now.
Right, if that's okay. Because you know, again, this snow plowing thing too is gonna be the next issue here. So do we want to, we're gonna pay double time for whenever they're called on off-duty snow removal. That's, what more discussion there, I guess.
Does that snow removal fall into their ERT time or the?
I would say that would be, I would say that's as close to emergency situation as we can get, so, I mean, I would say that would be.
And your 8-hour scenario earlier could be a possibility with snow removal.
Saturdays and Sundays, yes, it could.
Very, very possibly.
Oh, I mean, this last winter, they were out quite a bit, you know? And like I said, driving around here, the county totally outperformed the city. You could definitely
They
see
did.
that down here every day we come to work. So, you know, and there was times they worked their 9 hours plus additional, you know, 8 hours, long days, so on those situations.
Any discussion on that? Do we want to make a motion to do that, or do we want to, not a motion to the consensus on it? I'm not for it at all.
You're not for the double pay?
Nope.
On snow?
I think that's gonna open a can of worms for everybody. Because when is that gonna change? Police department, the sheriff's department, I just don't see it.
I don't see how that's different than removing a tree. In my mind, it seems like the same scenario, same emergency situation.
Any other comments?
So the emergency response callback, that would be for trees, snow, anybody that would,
Not right now.
so, but
Maybe
nothing
this
was
snow.
approved, I'm just double checking, because the tree, we're confused about the tree. Was something approved up with the tree removals?
I thought we agreed the double time would be for 2 hours. And
Well, like I said, that has to be amended in the handbook.
Right.
And if we amend the handbook, it's gonna be everybody in the county that could do emergency response time. Your sheriff department, whatever.
for 2 hours, especially.
Minimum, right?
I don't have the handbook in front of
But,
me.
but
I
it
think
would
Chad
have,
has one in
but it
his
would
desk.
have to constitute an emergency call in or call out. You know, if the deputy's on shift, there would be nothing emergency related, but, you know, if it's a major ordeal, they have to call in,
Say a sprinkler burst in here,
the sprinkler breaks in here.
that's a 2-hour call out at minimum.
So,
But let's not forget though, it's already a time and a half call out, that's it. So it's only a half time. It's all the increase is, really, since it's already at.
Could you start tracking these in a spreadsheet? Show us the trends and if we do go with this higher rate, are we gonna have more call-outs?
Marky, you're not passing this one to me.
I don't know if you'd be able to track it, I think the department has to have.
The
it.
department head would have to track it, yeah, and they would have to.
Because I don't know when they get
You're
called
saying
out.
Rocky didn't pass it, you pass it to the department head.
Yeah, we're passing it to the department.
But
I don't
on the,
think we'd see that, like when you got called out.
on the payroll, do they put on there?
Well,
Do they
on the
document like
payroll,
other or something?
well, you can see it two different ways. You can see it in time and a half, which normally the the highway department is normally the only one that gets time and a half paid out normally. Regularly. The sheriff's department can have time and a half paid out. Normally they have it listed if it's OPO, 4-H, a special event, or it can be paid out in comp time. Well, comp time, we don't necessarily know when there's a special event of overtime and why.
Don't we vote on anything?
But we never see a phone call log.
Oh, no. The department heads would, I would think, have that.
It would be interesting to see as the weather changes and we get more of these intense weather events. And I'm just curious. I'd like if they could track it to see it.
I definitely like to see that.
Now, when EMA or has the avian flu or some, like a
COVID.
tornado, COVID, I mean, we did see it then,
Mhm.
but they came to you and I think asked for money for that,
Yeah, it was a lump sum.
for their wages, so.
So getting back to the handbook, so you're saying any kind of emergency, then we have to pay everybody double time.
It's in the handbook, stated emergency.
So
Yeah, Chad had it pulled up the other day.
we better be considering all that before we
Can we
make a
just,
decision.
isn't that what we already voted on with the tree thing?
But we might have to back off.
Well, I didn't have that
I
vote
thought-
on anything.
That's why we were asking
I
about
thought
the
it's
consent.
just consensus, yeah.
No, I know, not voted consensus.
Yeah, I did tell Donnie that if we made a policy change to double time for them, I would want to come
So we have to
countywide.
have one for just overtime, time and a half, and then one for emergency overtime. or
No, it's
emergency.
called emergency
It's
response.
just emergency call, yeah, emergency call out.
But there would be two, one would be time and a half, and if we go this way, it would be double time.
I think
Two separate.
I think it says you'll be paid time and a half
It does say
at
time
a
and a half.
minimum of 2 hours.
Minimum
is it-
2 hours.
And is it also $50 or no?
No, just,
Okay,
just,
because he mentioned that the other day.
If we would change it though, then we'd have to make a differentiation though, between the two.
Right, we need that section.
but I don't think I would do it differentiate.
I wouldn't have two
No,
policies.
I mean, I think it needs to either be time and a half as it is, or go double time. That's the way I would do it, because, I wouldn't want a situation where, you know, the highway guys are getting paid time and a half riding in the snowplow truck while Scott Hope's over here falling downstairs at the courthouse, getting paid time and a half, you know, I would want, if we go double time, we could go countywide, I think. Or,
So then the 5 hours that they do consistently, it would all be overtime. They would all.
Yeah. yeah, that's time and a half now.
Not just for trees or anything like that, it would be all the time. Every week, because they get 5 hours overtime no matter what.
Guaranteed.
So instead of getting
Each
5
week,
hours,
so it's 10 per pay period.
right. So instead of getting time and a half, they would get double time for all that.
I'm confused, where are we going?
No,
double time?
because there's
Overtime.
a call.
That's only
what
for
you said, I
emergency
thought.
response.
No, that's only emergency.
Well, that's what I'm saying, you have to differentiate between the two.
I don't
Their
think
extra 5 hours is overtime.
That's just overtime, that's just overtime.
Yeah,
Fairly
the other one.
standards overtime.
Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And I just, someone said that no, we wouldn't do a separate policy.
I don't think we're changing anything with overtime, it's just the
Yeah.
emergency call out.
Yeah, that
ERT in the handbook, special section.
I'd like to table that discussion until,
So on the extra pay for the foremen, we're gonna talk about that at the next county
yeah,
council meeting.
and I guess the other two too, I'd like to have more. I didn't know it would affect that many people. Just like,
Maybe by then we'll have the amendment available that they can look at, the amendment.
because the,
Oh, I got the amendment now, I mean, that's what Donnie had Friday when we had the meeting, so, I know, I guess he was talking about it with the commissioners.
Is
So
the
I-
amendment for double time or is it for, I'm getting confused because
So-
there's so many different
So the,
things.
the amendment that we talked about in the handbook was for emergency call out,
Oh, okay.
the two, you know, current policy, time and a half, 2 hour minimum. And the discussion was double time, 2 hour minimum. So 1.5 versus 2.
Okay.
so there's three different issues here technically. The commissioners agreed on
Well, yeah,
but I wonder if they realized that it would change the whole handbook and
Yeah, because Chad had it out.
did it.
yeah, I sent a separate email to the commissioners and I told them that if they voted on a policy change, it would need to be countywide, or might well. be my
I think before we
recommendation.
discuss this again, and so people have some time to digest it, any of those affected departments, if they have some kind of a logbook, need to produce that for our council. I mean, you know, give us some time to prepare and we can review that maybe before.
Brooke was gonna give us
Talking about it.
historical data and cutoff, right?
Yeah, I'll start calling the departments.
So
We
if
can
the,
we can reach out to them too and ask them, I suppose, so.
so if someone in the clerk's office, you know, something would break down, the computers would break down, they'd have to come in at midnight and try to help get it back up to speed if the rain, whatever. So they would get that time too then, right?
How do you define emergency?
Well, yeah,
Which they've had that happen.
Yeah, I know, but that's what I say, that's why I
Yeah.
use the courthouse, because if a
Oh, we've had the sprinklers break in our office.
right, sprinkler or either a toilet or something would run over and run down on somebody's computers,
Yeah.
they'd shut the system down.
I mean, typically it'd probably be Scott, you know,
So,
but
but he's he's exempt now, isn't he? I forgot, maybe not.
I don't think so, no.
So anyway, I think I'd like a little more information before I didn't know it was gonna get that complicated. I thought it was one department and.
Yeah.
So is that all right to table this till let's get more, if we could all reach out and get a little more information? Thanks.
Yeah.
For coming. So, we're looking at the recorded perpetuation fund. I didn't see anything there. Solid waste user fee stickers, does anybody have any issue there? Dumpster attendants.
Did you talk about park and all that already?
I think skip,
Which one?
Park and Rec, we've already fund.
Park rate, non-reverting,
I'm sorry.
and auditor flat book fee.
I had checked the reverting fund, but maybe I was checking the wrong thing here.
Okay. Just trying to catch up.
Did we also do like the weed and spray the rest of that?
Back up, we got kind of lost here.
I don't think we did that.
Because we were finished with, we were on highway administration, I think is what we were. But is there any issues there that, with, like you say, weeds and tools?
No, I'm just gonna do it going line by line. I skipped down to the bottom of the page. So,
Yeah, I'm sorry.
no, that's fine. I don't have anything marked on any, I don't have any issues with any of those other lines.
And so the motor vehicle highway undistributed, any things that thing there, I don't know if we touched on that. That $1.5 million. The mechanic, you know, it's again, the wages were we're all, for that department, I thought was okay.
Right.
And then the park and rec non-reverting, anything there? Nothing, I mean, there's no wages there, that's,
no, that non-reverting is for bigger park improvements or
you know,
She said
equipment.
she's putting things on.
And that's the
that here.
truck or the skid steer, I think that's getting ready to be leaving.
I think she was just trying to build a fund for that.
plat book, anything there? Okay, now we're on the recorder's perpetuation fund. Any comment there? Hearing none, we'll move on. Solid waste user fee sticker. Sticker fees. Again, the dumpster attendants, we talked to them about that. I mean, that's all was part of the wage study. Anyone got any comments on the rest of that? Hearing none, we'll move on to the surveyor's corner perpetuation fund. I think he explained that and it didn't change in cost. CASA, that's what we have to look at, the wages and CASA. And that was, again, those wages were all pushed up above the, or increased above the council's recommendation. So do we agree as a council to drop those back like all the other departments? Any comment otherwise? Anyone against doing that? Okay, so that goes back to the recommended pay. Okay, then we got, looks like the ineligible, this auditor's ineligible deduction fund, anything there? Official, the official, elected official training, $10,000, nothing's changed there. Park and Rec, board members, I think we increased those.
Actually,
Oh,
the
we did.
president and the secretary get $200 a meeting. The other 3 members get $100 a meeting, and they meet 4 times a year.
That did not change. Superintendent, you know, his
Always the way it's recommendation.
pay went up to what they recommended. Part-time seasonal help, I thought we increased that to get them on the county minimum, $16.15. Does anybody see anything else there that's not a filter? Or we have to decide on that? I didn't have anything else more. Nine 911 statewide.
This is the one where the assistant director got the additional pay versus holiday pay.
So. Discussions you want to bring up? She decided not to have holiday pay.
Yeah.
But double time would have to work on holidays, she doesn't want to. So she does, you know, the assistant director decided that she did not, I think, you know, most departments out there are, they're kind of forced to work holidays, and she does not want to do that. She wants to, you know, give up her, you know, get paid even if they don't work, right? And she would rather just take we increased her salary, and then she does not have to work holidays.
And the differentiation was the shift supervisors with holiday pay were actually going to make more than her. And that's why the adjustment to bring her in line with that change. So that is the dollar an hour change from recommended. I don't think there's any other changes there.
Any questions on that or comments on that? Hearing none, we'll move on to
So you're leaving the 3125?
Yes.
I think that's correct. That's what the budget book also shows it, for sure.
That was what we requested.
What's the total salary? 65,000 even. That's what it is here.
Yeah. It stays.
Stays the same. So reassess the reassessment fund. I don't see anything unless you have something there. I don't see anything. Lid CR, we talked about that pretty extensively. I don't think there's any change there that I noticed. Are we gonna add the utilities for both,
She doesn't do corrections.
yes, for jail?
That's what I'm looking for.
Yep. I had $327,000. Are you caught up or, okay? Otherwise, we'll move on now to, prosecutor forfeiture fund, $4,000. Opioid restricted fund, any changes there that you see need to make? Opioid settlement unrestricted. Nothing in there. Adult probation administration.
That's where we get into the stipends.
Stipend for probation is the first one I got. $21,000. Discussion on that. If we're gonna give probation longevity, I think we agreed on that. It's fine.
Take it out.
Yeah, take it out.
That's what I.
Do we need to show hands or anybody agree to leave, want to leave that in? 21,000. Hearing no comments, I guess we're gonna take it out, right? Who's in, I guess since it's in there, who's in favor of taking it out? Let's have a show of hands.
Taking it out.
Taking it out, removing it.
Knowing that we're going to include them within the longevity. That's-
So that's removed. So would that affect FICA now and the benefits or whatever? So you'd have to adjust that,
We'll adjust any FICA and perf we have to adjust.
okay? And this is that probation assistant, that Schneider,
They put Jamie in here and moved Kerrigan out.
okay? So the dollar amount stayed the same? What about the wages?
Well, we used the wage study.
Okay. 46,938. Any other changes there? Okay. Okay. Probation, juvenile administration at 0. Alternate dispute resolution, it stayed the same. It's not other services. Pre-trial diversion. Prosecutor. Do we have anything marked up there? Is there wages in there? Intern benefits?
We're gonna have to look at maybe adjusting the investigator and victim assistant maybe, I don't know. We'll have to look at that, if you're changing them back to the recommended
Yes.
rate.
So those two would need to be reviewed.
Yeah, as well as FICA and perf,
Pardon me?
as well as FICA and perf.
Okay.
So loud.
Okay. Anything else in the diversion fund? Community corrections project income. Are there any kind of outline that for us this morning? I don't have any changes there. You matched the wages that I understood, or I checked. Okay, drug court user fees. That's not too much there, hold on.
I thought the drug court user fee was 0.
It says 3,500, doesn't it?
For incentives. Yeah, but I thought he said that didn't get funded. I must have missed something.
You know, I didn't mark it out. Anybody else make a note of that? I didn't, I may have to get back to him on that. Well, wait a minute, what's that? No, that's good. I don't know.
Well, he's got it under incentives. And then some forms is that
Sentence. Oh,
Oops,
I see.
is that?
Well,
Say,
I don't remember him saying anything about it.
how can we verify that?
Oh, there's
3,500.
well, he's got 2,000 there. There's the incentive.
It's got 3,000 incentives here, but is that in the
On the
right
sheet or should I call
2540?
I thought you said that,
It's
that,
in the spreadsheet.
I didn't think so either.
The spreadsheet, does he have that?
drug court user fee? You have $3,500 in here.
She's calling.
3,000 for incentives and 500 for cell phone pagers. Is that correct? I thought you said earlier that drug courts didn't have any budget, but
Maybe it didn't have wages in
yes, drug court user. fee. IOPS drug court does not, this one does.
Okay,
Okay, just thought I'd check.
it. Is it 6,500 or 3,500?
3,500.
It's 3,500, so the sheet's wrong.
Your sheet says 6,500 bucks. Or did that change again? He has 6,500 as well. Yeah, that
So
was
it's
something we didn't get
6,500?
there. So is it 6,000?
I'm confused.
About, okay, hold on, because we don't have this. So 3,000 for incentives. 1,000 for what? Program materials. 500 for the cell phone and pagers. And 2,000 for travel and training.
well, that's
Yeah, we didn't have that. So total of 6,500.
So 3,000 for incentives. 1,000 for program materials.
Okay.
3,500.
Is that it?
Joel said he had that.
All right. Bye.
Drug court users, 2,504.
Well, we only had how many of those?
Yeah. So it's 6,500 instead of 3,500.
Program materials is 1,000, and travel and training is 2,000,
Then incentives 3 and cell phone and pagers 5.
so 6,500. Yes.
He's got it right on this sheet.
So-
But see, we didn't get that sheet, so that's why it's not in here.
There's been too many versions. And
Well, there's more breakdown on this sheet to come up with that 6,500.
Right, I just read them off.
I'm with you, but in
the one he
this one,
gave you,
2,504, we
But
don't
see,
have
we
those
didn't get that
calculations.
sheet. The
Yeah.
sheet we had 3,500.
Okay.
So where were those two other program materials?
Program materials 1,000.
Where did they come from? What are they from? What are they from?
They didn't have the whole budget in here.
It would be under the drug court user fee. It would just be extra lines.
It would still be in 2,504, just other lines. is what
Right,
you're
So
saying.
we're gonna have to add more lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where we see
So it's
these,
so they're brand new lines, they're not something
Yes.
from last year, somewhere else, potentially.
They might be there, we don't know, because this is if they were there last year and they weren't there this year, the new system wouldn't have carried it forward. We'll have,
Yeah, you can rework the sheet.
yes, we'll rework this
Rework
sheet.
the sheet and then it is, the total is 6,500.
Yes.
Okay, for drug
That's
court
what,
user fee?
that's what I was wondering if.
Is that what they're talking
Yes.
Exactly.
doesn't sound that way, but I'm a little confused myself.
Yeah, I don't think we got the final sheet.
So they turn in Form 1s and Form 144s, okay? It was not on a prior sheet that we were given. That's why it's not on there. But with we got different versions, multiple versions of people's budgets. So
It's
that's why it's not on there.
no problem.
So.
And some of this
but it
stuff
is-
that Wyatt's doing, the state hasn't approved it yet, so we don't even know if it's final.
They'll more than likely change.
But we got it, got it now. I mean, it's 60, it changes, it's gonna
Right.
change to 6,500 in lieu of 3,500, so. So then the probation user programming, 3,000. And that's the same, I thought you said, yeah. Courthouse fountain maintenance, that's went to 0. Veterans service supplies, the support, I'm sorry. That's stayed the same, 11,000. And then we've got the, I think emergency management donation fund, that went to 700 is what I wrote down.
Yes, change that, lower that.
And up, not 4112, it's 700.
Yeah, because going forward, they're gonna be given just about 720,000. So,
Region 15 planning, that's state, it's stayed the same where it's approved. $10,000 at the St. Charles Annex Maintenance Fund. That's been like that for a while, hasn't it? That's
The rent from the WIC
really
program.
The WIC program, yeah.
Yes.
And then health preparedness grant. Let's see what that's. Anybody got any change there? It's the same 25,000. And then Ebola,
okay, now, the rest.
moving up slightly.
Well, we can only budget what we have.
Okay, so that's 800.
And that number could change too.
Yeah, it could be lower. Depends on if they spend it.
Victim assistance, that went up quite a bit.
Well, again, we gotta review that with her, the wage change that you are pushing it back to.
And it's a 2-year grant.
Oh,
So you got the 2 years cycle in there. It's the
I
beginning
said
of the
it
year.
doesn't follow a calendar year. That's
It
what-
starts October 1st
Yeah.
and it goes for 2 years. So you got the whole amount in here and then we'll use that off.
Okay. Justice and mental health, total,
That's that JMH grant that the sheriff's social work deputy
okay,
comes out of, and that's why we're gonna have to lower the other side.
okay, that makes sense. And public health crisis, that's just, he's got his nurses in there.
Well, that's that school co-ed.
Okay. So again, the wages follow what we had said, I thought, what we, study said. And then the incentive fund, the $5,000 for 4D, that stayed the same,
That is,
5,000.
that's the counties that we pay the CAT plan out of every year. The cost allocation plan.
Okay. And then we've got the corrections pretrial services. Again, we've got the officers in there.
I think this is, you're gonna have to,
We
no,
added,
that's Wyatt's again.
this is that page that got revised, we put the function and perf in there. Page 22. Yep. any other changes that you see there. And then community corrections grant, again, is that set in stone, or is that, I guess
I have been
that's
waiting on approval.
so. That's what some of his wages are. But again, he followed the wage study, so that should be correct. So I don't know what, that's all I got. The total budget's probably gonna change quite a bit, but.
I will
change
give you
some.
more of an update on August 31st.
Okay.
Christina Wagner, it looks like I don't know what's going on with her. Looks like she's getting paid a little more per hour.
Who's this? Christina.
Christina Wagner, this is in community corrections,
Okay.
pretrial services coordinator. And that could have been oversight.
That's something we could check with him, I mean, at some point here. If that's a mistake, or is that? What in the world? Otherwise, with that.
Because ain't me here.
I haven't touched it.
Oh, we're making me sick.
The only thing I was wanting again to discuss, we have the, besides the budget, the MUST meeting. It's planned for September 16th between the municipalities and we're gonna meet in the county, and we're gonna meet at the city hall.
I've sent out notices to all the taxing units, fiscal officers.
So TIC put together that, the analytics, and what I was wanting to do is, we want to get this budget on there, we need to sit down. Again, we were thinking about having a 3-person committee, sit down and try to go through utilizing this analytics to see if we can come up with some kind of a plan that we can make all the municipalities and different units whole, that they wouldn't lose money, to see how that comes out. So is it okay with the council? Again, it's probably a multiple meeting thing. We have 3 council people. Is it okay with the council to have Meredith and Michael Stallman and myself work on that with the auditor? And that would be sometime, I guess, that we can coordinate a time.
Sure.
So, Sandy, I didn't know if you had maybe a date that you would want to start. Is that okay, I guess, first of all?
Would you start that after this month's meeting?
Before.
It has to be so we can
go into.
we can come in with our stuff prepared.
And then we can all get together like we did sometime and go through it before. But, we need to get the ball rolling, because all the other entities are getting concerned, I guess. But we still got time, we got a month roughly.
Or at least just set the first meeting.
To just
Pick a day.
Pick a day.
You said Friday we have a company. Is that
this
this Friday?
Friday. we do.
I noticed that, I guess that must be the rescheduled, I don't know that I'll be able to make it
I
to
thought I
that.
missed it.
No, he rescheduled from last week, but I'm sure you'll be on Friday, I'll try to do it remotely, but.
Next week, you can pretty much pick a day.
Okay.
So Monday, Tuesday are okay with me. Wednesday, I'm a little, one more meeting in the afternoon. 24th or 25th, any of those work?
25th, I prefer it earlier.
25th in the morning? Are you available?
Yeah, I could do the 24th.
24th? Oh,
You're wide open on the 24th.
yes, it's just.
I like 24th better, but this 25th.
24th is fine, I'm wide open.
Okay, so what time? 24th?
Tell me.
Yeah.
I'm there at 8 to 4.
39,
8 to 6, whatever. I'm there.
9 o'clock? Is that all right?
24th at 9 o'clock, is that the same?
You want me to try to see if Jamie would be available to help us, or
Let's
or let's
work
do
on
it
it.
ourselves and then go from there?
Let's, yeah, and then maybe set a meeting with her after that. Because if, you know, it's been a while already, and she talks pretty, like you say.
As long as you and I can move. I mean, she helped us through it the first time, but it was like she was flicking and flapping and
And we
it was
do,
like squirrel. I couldn't write notes fast enough.
you did get the income statements from the state, whatever you call it.
I do have the new lit,
So
amounts.
we got the information.
Okay,
and I'm
good.
hoping that's already loaded into it. Well, I'll have to look. I haven't had a chance to look at it.
Okay.
I got it last night, so.
Your conferences?
Hmm?
Your
Yes,
conference?
my conference room. Our conference room.
Okay. Is there anything else? Good of the order here?
Your next meeting is August 31st.
And then we'll have, prepare minutes for both of these meetings, I guess, or do we have minutes?
I do have, very scaled down minutes. I don't
Get
I don't
involved.
go into the weeds, it's just we discussed this department, this department. We took a break here, we got back, because people want to see the weeds that got watched.
And thank you, Emily, for coming in.
And Dylan?
Yeah, thank you for.
Is your head going?
Okay, so we'll update you, sure.
Yes, very much.
Any other comments from the council? Any other comments? Brooke, you have a comment? Okay, so I'll entertain a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Michael has made a motion.
Second.
Doug is second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Meeting of the Du Bois County Council budget work session.